Okay, we are interpreting confidence intervals. Well, this first statement is pretty much the statement that you kind of not necessarily have memorized, but understand. This is the, thank you. She's not here right now. Yep. This is a statement of what our confidence interval means, and we can write the general statement that you can always say correctly for any confidence interval on the bottom. Ready? In general, we are blank confident that the true proportion of blank, and this could be a statement here, is between blank and blank. The first blank comes from your confidence level. This is where you'll put 95%, 68%, 80%, whatever. It's your percentage value that goes there. The second blank is going to be for what you are studying, what you found the proportion of in your sample. So the true proportion of, in this situation, we have an example. We interviewed 100 students, asked if they own a computer. 47 responded yes. Well, we are going to use that sample to produce the confidence interval, and that confidence interval is going to tell us, hopefully, a range of values that the true proportion of students who own a computer is. Okay, so it's what we are studying or what we are examining. Is between, and here's your confidence interval. Mr. Messer. She's not in here right now. She might be late because she's in Cavalettes, and I saw they got let out late. But if so, I'm sending her to the office. Okay, great. Thanks. Okay. Okay. So that's it. If you remember that, you'll be good to interpret any confidence interval. I don't want to even spend that much time going through why these are correct and why these are wrong, because pretty much you're just going to use this. What is the most important part about what makes a interpretation of a confidence interval correct or incorrect is that we must make sure that our sample is going to represent the true proportion of, make sure like the class of individuals that we are sampling are correct. So if I sample LTAH students, I won't say the true proportion of adults. You know, if I sample LTAH seniors, in my interpretation, I won't say that the true proportion of LTAH students is between this and this, okay? Just make sure that your sample is a good reflection, it's a random sample of your population that you're going to find. And that goes all the way back to the beginning of this class, how we take random samples of our population. Don't expand your population if you are only doing a select portion. You know, maybe you're not even going to say high school students if you interview people from Lake Travis High School, right? Because Lake Travis High School is not the same as every other high school in America, okay? So just make sure our samples reflect our population. Okay, some things that are incorrect. Certain things like this. If I find an actual sample proportion, well, you're not going to produce a confidence interval. You would just say what the actual sample proportion is. The actual sample proportion in this case was 47% if you look at the example above. That's why we're not using that statement. Another incorrect interpretation of confidence intervals. If you survey everybody in a population, this is good for your quiz today. If you survey everyone or your entire population, why would an interpretation of a confidence interval just not be necessary? Why would I not need a confidence interval if I survey my entire population? Guesses? Let's say instead of this, instead of we surveyed 100 students from this school, I would say I surveyed every student in this school and found out that 47% responded yes, that they own a computer. I then produced a 95% confidence interval, and it's between this and this. Exactly. I don't need a confidence interval if I'm surveying an entire population. If I survey an entire population, I find the parameter. Well, confidence intervals are designed to help you find what your parameter could be between. The true proportion of students who own a computer is between 37 and 56. Well, yeah, duh. I surveyed every single student, and the actual proportion is 47. Okay? So understand that. If you do survey a population, confidence intervals are unnecessary. You know the parameter. Okay? All right. That's it for notes. If we remember this statement, we're good for interpretation. Questions? We're now about to take a quiz. We're going to do the back of this paper, which is going to be your homework. And then we are going to practice for the quiz. It's pretty much like a practice quiz. I have 8 questions. And if you're able to answer all of the 8 questions, you're going to be good for your quiz. Then we're going to take the quiz, maybe go over homework questions before we take the quiz, and then you'll be good to go. Okay?